Hi, I'm Cal Gray, Process Vision, Richmond, Virginia. I want to show you a sample of soy running on the OptiCount Lab. I've started the computer, selected the OptiCount Lab application from the desktop. The system can be run in the count mode, the key mode, or the scale mode. In count mode, we would just count the product. We would not worry about the weight. In the key mode, we would enter the weight from the keyboard. In the scale mode, we let the weight come in from the scale automatically. We feel like you would very seldom want to just count. What you really want to know is count per pound, so we'd be using key or scale mode. I'm going to select scale mode. Sample dialog box, I can enter the sample name. I'm going to click through that, but normally you would enter a sample name because that sample name will follow the data that we collect or the image that we save and be saved in the computer memory. To keep this threshold image, we press next. In the vision business, we want to look at what's behind us. We want a background image with nothing on it. Then we add the product, take a picture of that, and now we're going to see the difference between the background image and the product image, and that's what we really want to count. The weight has been collected from the scale. I'm going to pour the product on the stage and spread it out a little bit. When I click next, the system will vibrate to monolayer the product, and then we'll take an image and count it. You can see the product is spread nicely, and we wait for a few moments for the product to settle down, take an image and count it. We vibrate again to get a little different view of the image and count again. And we have two counts of 755, really good distribution. We have a few splits. We have one hull that we didn't count. One important thing to keep in mind about soy, if you look closely at the stage, soy settles down with gravitation, with gravity. It settles to its lowest gravitational state. You're always going to see the Highland to the side. We're always looking at the product in the same relative position. We know that we're going to see the same length and width for that product every time we run it. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see that we've put a green dot on each seed that we've counted. We didn't have any clusters that we couldn't separate, so we put a green dot to show that each seed has been counted. In addition to indicating that we have counted them, we can also see we didn't miss any. So every seed has a green dot. Every seed was counted as a single. We call that visual verification. We don't have to go back and count the product. We don't have to wonder whether it's right or not. We know that every seed has a green dot. We know the computer saw it as a single and counted it that way. We have a redo feature. If we did want to look more closely, I'll reset the view. In redo, we have a redo feature where we can recall that image, count it again. You can take as much time as you want to verify it. You have absolute assurance that the count is correct. I'd like to run a sample for you of wheat on the OptiCount Lab. The scale weight will be taken automatically from the scale into the computer. System's been initialized. We know the recipe that we're on, so I'm going to click Scale. It's asking for a sample name. I'm going to click through that, but if you have a barcode reader, you could barcode a sample name in, or you could type it in from a keyboard. We're getting a threshold image. We have a good, clean threshold image. In Vision, what we want to do is compare nothing to something. Nothing is what we have without the product. Something is what we take the picture with the product. We're going to look at the difference between those two, so we need to have a good background image for that. That's what we have here. I'll click Next to accept that background image. Reading scale, we have a weight of 105.89 grams. Pour the sample on the stage and spread it out a little bit. When we click Next, the stage will vibrate to monolayer the product and spread it out. And we'll take an image and process that image. We're going to count the kernels on the stage. We'll show you the count that we had, and we'll vibrate and count again. And the second count is within 15 kernels for a 2,400 kernel count. We're within, let's say, plus or minus 7.5, which is close enough for the settings we have here. So we will accept that product. We'll say Next. If we want to look at that, we can zoom in. I'll click the zoom button, and I'll zoom in a little bit on the stage. You can see we have a couple of small fragments. That's going to happen. That makes counting a little bit more difficult, but we can deal with that. The very small fragments we ignore because we have a threshold to ignore small things. Half seed or greater will count. You notice we put a green dot on the singles, we put a yellow dot on some that are doubles, we put a red dot on ones that we count for 3. I'm looking for the counts to be correct. I see 2, 2, 2. I see all the yellows are 2s, all the reds are 3. I can be confident it's a good count, and then I can go back to reset view, and there's my image. Thank you for your interest. You've seen the OptiCount Lab. We'd love to hear from you. Our website is processviz.com. My name is Cal Gray. Give me a call at 804-514-9189 or email at cal.gray@processviz.com. That's processviz, V-I-S, not biz, B-I-Z. We have that mistake sometimes. So Cal Gray, processviz.com. Look forward to speaking with you. Thanks.